Albania opened its borders post-communism in 1991. Albania was the first country ever to write into its constitution that atheism was the state religion. Missionaries flooded in. They brought the gospel. They did a good job at planting churches, but there wasn't a lot of discipleship that went on.
I was part of the worship band in my home church, and maybe I'm one of the very few worship leaders that were appointed by the church in that time. In the beginning of this ministry, I was just training some churches at their own facilities. For most of them, worship was just like an appetizer before the big meal that was the Word of God. And they never saw worship as a proper ministry at their own churches. Elio was part of one of the churches that I was training at the time. And it was a group like of 4 or 5. And Elio was one of the kind of the least music skilled person or spoken person. He was always like the last one of many things.
Një nga gjëra që unë kam pas vështirë në fillim ka qenë pjesa e muzikës. Ndje edhe po thosha që më mirë është them ta lë, për shkak se unë nuk jam aq i zoti sa janë dy miqtë e mi, edhe nuk ja vlen që ta vazhdoj, mund bëj diçka tjetër.
And Elio came to me and said, I want to quit because these guys are working and they are going ahead of me and I'm left behind and I'm not that skilled like them.
Por që në një mesazh që bëni po ndatën në atë moment, ishte diçka që më vërtet më preku dhe më bëi që ta vazhdoja edhe të jem akoma këtu ku jam sot, ishte fakti që mos të krahasohesha me tjerët. Por thjesht atë çfarë Zoti ju ka dhënë si dhuratë, bëjeni dhe bëjeni mirë për lavdinë e Tij.
And I said, Elio, no. We'll work extra together and we'll stay together. You're not going to quit. So he started from zero when it came to music and his progress is so great.
Që më bëri më të aftë, kuptoja më shumë nga muzika, por ka qenë edhe disa mësime që një ka qenë lidhje si duhet jemi ne jemi persona që duhet të udhëheqim njerëzit për të adhuruar Perëndin. Duhet jemi ne ato persona që jemi gati edhe marrim atë përgjegjësinë. Ajo ishte një mënyrë jetese, jo vetëm brenda kishës, jo vetëm ditën e diel kur ishte takimi i kishës, por gjatë gjithë ditës ishte ajo që ti tregoje se si adhuroj Perëndin gjatë javës, gjatë muajit, gjatë gjithë kohës.
Now he's the worship leader of his own church. And not just that, but I've heard that he's training other people.
Po përpiqem t'ia mësoj të rinjve. Me hapin e parë është duke mësuar instrumenta të tjerë dhe pastaj është gradualisht fillon të mëson edhe çfarë do të adhurosh. Edhe se si ta adhurojnë Perëndin. Duhet ta kuptojnë çfarë është adhurimi. Edhe kjo gjë do të fillojë që me adoleshentët, kur ti ja mëson atyre ato do e pasojnë brez pas brezi. Edhe do e zhvillojnë diçka më shumë.
We prepare leaders that we're going to prepare their own teams and we can be just a support for them. We're going to train the trainers.
I think what we hope to accomplish is teaching the church in Albania the power of worship as a tool to be used against the enemy. One of the big things in Albania is there's no hope. The economy's bad, wages are low, the government's corrupt. Hopefully, with the help of our ministry and others, the church can see that we are victorious and that we do have hope.
We believe this ministry is called to bring light, love, and hope for people here.